Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Third Thoughts. In this episode, Bradley and I are going to be talking about WandaVision episode 7, as well as all things DCEU, whether it's Flashpoint Paradox or the new Justice League trailer. But without wasting any more time, let's go right into it. First thing, tradition on this show. Bradley, let us know your thoughts on WandaVision episode 7.
I thought it was pretty good overall. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really like the first sitcom portion of the episode compared to the other sitcom portions of past episodes, but the ending was still crazy. Agatha, of course, the big reveal with her was still insane. And with the kids and everything, I just really don't know where the show's gonna go. Of course, we have Vision. He might die again. We don't know. I don't know how they're gonna resolve the story. He's probably the character I'm most interested in right now at the moment because I truly don't know how they're gonna end his whole story because I have no idea at this point. So Vision is definitely probably the character I'm most interested in seeing what happens. Him and Pietro. So yeah, I'm just excited to see where it ends. These next two episodes are gonna be insane.
Bro, speaking of Pietro, bro, I don't know if you saw my theory on it, or actually, you can talk about it first. Let's talk about that multiverse nexus thing going on. I know you had a lot to say about it. I know there's a theory going on between how Agnes got Pietro with the nexus, whatever multiverse. You go at it, bro. You let us know what it is.
Yeah, so like the thing we talked about earlier today, like with her possibly getting him from the nexus, because I guess the nexus is kind of like the gateway between like different universes, like to my understanding. But I guess now people are saying that maybe Wanda subconsciously got him from the nexus, and when he got put into Westview, Agatha just took control of him basically. So that could also be an option. Maybe Wanda did bring him there. She just doesn't like. She just probably did it like subconsciously or like not intentionally. And then maybe once he got there, Agatha took control of him. So I don't know. Okay, either way, maybe
I was thinking
Agatha used some sort of nexus magic, or maybe Wanda did.
I was leaning towards the fact that maybe Agnes did it strictly because of the fact that her bringing back Pietro as like as the X-Men Quicksilver, it would bring back like a slight trauma in Wanda's life. And I feel like that could slowly help or make Wanda lose control of her reality, thus giving Agnes more power in her reality, giving her more power as to whatever she wants to get done or whatever her role in the reality is. So that's why I was thinking Agnes put him there, because overall it would just help her because she kind of would be able to create a weak point in the reality, because I guess the reality is just Wanda's brain. And seeing Pietro, whether it's the regular Pietro from the MCU or Pietro from the X-Men universe, any kind of Pietro is going to set something off in Wanda's mind. So I feel like that is the exact thing that Agnes is going for. And going off of Agnes, bro, what do you think about we talked about this before, but what do you think about her taking the twins? What was your reaction in the beginning right when you saw that?
I mean, it was crazy because like just of course like with us like now like me knowing like what happens in the comics stuff like that. Her seeing it like taking the twins, I'm like, dang, so they really are going that route. But I guess my thing is I'm still kind of unsure how that's gonna all tie in. I mean, of course, we still have, like Mephisto, maybe Nightmare, like the bigger villain in the whole scheme of things. But I just don't really know because like this is odd because I feel like there maybe were moments maybe early in the series when like kids are born, but she probably could have got the kids. But like she kind of waited, I guess, to get them now. And so
Maybe it's
I don't
because
really know
maybe
how.
it's because they showed their powers and she kind of knows that they're
Maybe, yeah, maybe
developed
so.
enough. I think that's what it is, because I feel like it'd be the same thing in the comics. Like she could have just taken them right when they're born, but I feel like there has to have been like a certain point. Like maybe Mephisto needs a mutant to take the body form of, and they didn't necessarily know if Wanda and Vision's kid was gonna have powers, because nothing's ever technically guaranteed, at least from what we know. So maybe that is why they they were waiting. I think that could probably be a reason why they were waiting. What do you think of
But I
that,
will
bro?
say that like my prediction for like next episode or I do think that be a thing to break Wanda. Like once Agatha tells her like the kids are gone or taken, I think that will be like the thing that kind of sets Wanda off, and maybe we'll officially get like the Scarlet Witch by the end of the show because of this
Yeah,
situation.
definitely. I definitely think that the reasoning for Wanda to actually get like tip over the edge, I guess, will be her kids getting taken. I hope we don't see the kids and Mephisto in this show. I mean, I would love to see like a tease of Mephisto, but if he is gonna end up being the big bad in Multiverse of Madness, I would rather not see him here. Maybe like tease him, like maybe tease his like side profile or his back or something cool, like maybe he's like wings if he's Nightmare. maybe something tiny or maybe some small details. But if it's gonna be where Scarlet Witch, one of the like most powerful characters in the MCU, is at her tipping point of turning evil from being good, I think that's something that we have to finish the series off with. And obviously, I'm 100% going to be the guy who complains at the end of the series, like, "Oh, we didn't get anything out of this." But in reality, looking in the long run, I think that would be better if we didn't really see Mephisto. And maybe I was thinking this kind of going off topic, but I was thinking maybe, and I want to hear your thoughts on this. Maybe the villain of WandaVision isn't Agnes. It's not Nightmare. It's not Ralph. It's not Mephisto. Whatever. Maybe it's Wanda, like her own like mind. Like, what if it's Wanda against like I guess you could say Scarlet Witch, because that's what the show has been so far. It's just been Wanda basically confronting her mind and kind of trying to prove herself that she's right in all of this. And in this episode, she literally confronted herself. She literally confronted herself. She was like, oh, I got mad and I lost my temper and expanded the hex, expanded the reality. She brought it up. She literally talked about herself in the third person. So it's kind of making me think that maybe she is the one that's the villain in this show to herself. What do you think of that?
I mean, that's kind of the concept that I want like the most, honestly, to be true. I feel like that's the most intriguing, like to me at least, is just seeing like a hero, something that we've like grown as like and known as a hero for like most of the MCU to like turn and like become like a full blown like big bad villain. Like that's kind of the thing I do want the most. I feel like that would be really interesting to see. That's something we haven't really seen in the MCU yet on like such a big scale. So honestly, out of all like the possible theories stuff, that's probably what I want to be like to happen the most. And I mean, even if it's like maybe it's like the villain for like half a multiverse of madness, and she like turns good or something like later on. Like, just like that concept, even for a little bit, would be still pretty cool to me.
Yeah, dude, honestly, even not even like the first half, maybe just like the beginning, like the 1/4 of the movie, she's evil and then Doctor Strange turns her good. Like, and also I would love to see Agnes on the big screen. I would love to see that if she doesn't get what like quote defeated in this show. Like, I would love to be able to see Agnes's character on the big screen because I feel like all the characters from WandaVision or the main characters are gonna have to translate to Multiverse of Madness unless obviously they die off, which I don't think they will. Darcy, Jimmy Woo, Monica, all these people, maybe even Hayward, all these people have to have even maybe a sliver of a role in multiverse of madness. And I think going off of multiverse of madness and kind of just the acceleration that this show is going to have in the MCU, this episode we got confirmation that Hayward wants to bring Vision back. So this supports the fan theory, and I talked about this in my spoiler free review. If you guys want to check it out, the links are up here or in the description down below. But I did talk about the fact that there's a fan theory that Hayward is obviously Ultron, and the biggest thing going against that fan theory is that Hayward is stupid. Hayward's an idiot, and Ultron, and obviously Ultron's like the smartest being in the MCU. Like he's literally knows everything about every person, their weaknesses and their strengths. He's a computer. He's an AI that one of the smartest people in the MCU developed, Tony Stark. But what if that was just all a play? What if Hayward was acting stupid or making dumb
Yeah.
decisions to make everyone think the exact, or not even, no one would even think of it as something that would happen. Hayward, the sword leader turning into Ultron, that's like something that would come out of the blue, but it makes sense because why would he be tracking Vision's body? Why would he order sword agents to take apart Vision's body? And why would he not save Vision when he was coming out of the Hex in the last episode? What do you think of Hayward bringing Vision back and trying to embody him so that Ultron can finally fulfill his goal of embodying Vision?
I mean, I personally like I'm kind of leaning more towards the theory of him being a scroll, but I think that the idea from like working with Ultron or being Ultron is still like pretty cool. But I guess the reason why I say the scroll thing is because like it kind of makes sense, I guess, to me. Because if let's say maybe this could be him as a scroll trying to use Vision to make a weapon to basically invade like Earth and stuff for the rest of the scrolls. But maybe Wanda takes that weapon, and now the scroll's like, well, if Hayward is a scroll, he'd be like, okay, I now have a chance to take out one of Earth's mightiest people. So now when the other scrolls come, it's just easier to invade Earth. I've took down like the most powerful person. So maybe that's why he wants to kill Wanda so bad at the same time and get Vision back. But I don't know. I mean, the idea of him working with Ultron or being Ultron, that'd be dope too. Because Ultron, like, I really do want to see him again at some point.
Oh, I definitely think that if it's Ultron, bro, I think there's one of like the highest chances of him just literally not even playing a big role, but coming back in Multiverse of Madness, and that being one of the prominent like factors in turning Wanda evil if she doesn't turn evil at the end of the show. I feel like that could genuinely be another thing in Multiverse of Madness that just fuels the fire of Wanda. And even if in maybe even like if he okay, first of all, this is all speculation because we don't even know if he's gonna get Vision. I honestly doubt he's gonna get Vision. And maybe that's a secret invasion is for if he's a Skrull. Maybe he's not directly going for Vision. Maybe he's going for the most powerful people, like Brentley said. But if he is going for Vision, that would be just more flame in the fire, bro. Like, I could honestly see Wanda like literally destroying the entire multiverse, bro. Like, she would just like make some like ball thing in her hand and explode everything because Vision is like what the only thing she has left, and even then, he's not even technically there. Like, he's basically like not even alive. And dude, oh my god, I really want to see Vision die again, and I want to see Wanda watch Vision die again. That would be
I
like,
guess
that would be
a
absolutely
word.
nuts.
I guess it's like the thing that intrigues me most about Wanda right now is because like yes, she's kind of like still like she's kind of leaning towards being a villain, but at the same time, like right now she's still like doesn't want to like hurt anybody technically because she could have easily probably killed Monica. She could have easily killed Hero when she had the chance when she walked out the
Yeah.
hex. Like an episode was like 5 or 6. So I mean, she had so many chances. So she still doesn't want to like hurt people. She just wants to be like kind of left alone and happy. But I think she realizes now that her trying to she's putting her happiness over like she's still harming other people. She's harming the people that were in Westview and these other innocent people and stuff like that. And she's probably making other multiversal changes that she probably may know that she's affecting things on a larger scale, but she's just so like sad that she doesn't really care about those things. So in a way, she's kind of being, I guess, like selfish, but I don't think she's not at the
She's
point right
not,
now to me where
yeah.
she's trying to be like intentionally like evil yet, but she probably will get to that point later on.
Yeah, I think she's just gonna. I think her excuse is gonna be kind of like the one where when she was talking to Dana, it's like you took everything from me. Like it's just gonna be like, why would you guys have a good life if I can't live mine? And she's like, oh, she's probably gonna be something cheesy is gonna happen. She's probably gonna be like, oh, I've lived like a sad, depressed life my whole life, like whatever, mutant, my dad, my mom, Sokovia, whatever, all that kind of stuff, right? And she's just like, I never got to live a good life, so I'm gonna make it hell for everyone else. That would be the greatest villain storyline, especially going off the fact that she was literally a villain against the Avengers. Avengers turned her good, and now she's gonna turn evil again. That would be absolutely crazy, bro.
Oh yeah, no, but I feel like out of all the characters in the MCU, she might honestly have like the most like traumatic experiences out of most people, like out of most characters in the MCU. Because think about it, is she was Age of Ultron, all the stuff happened with Sokovia, then she joins the Avengers, new friends and stuff like that. And then Civil War, she does the thing in was that Wakanda or somewhere, or wherever it happened with the exploding building. So she basically turned her own friends against, she basically responsible for turning her new allies against each other in Civil War. And now she's dealing with the death of Vision. And so it's just like a lot that she's been through throughout the
Yeah.
MCU. So
I
I feel like
think
she's definitely the best
one,
character to
I
do this with.
think, I think one person that obviously isn't going to be a villain, but I thought I'd mention this since we're talking about traumatic childhood experiences. I think we can put it, I think we can say maybe three people, right? Have it the worst. I would say Bucky Barnes, right? Life story, not just as a
Yeah.
kid. Life story. I'd say Bucky Barnes, obviously Black Widow. And I think this one's pretty underrated, but Black Widow, because she was, do you know her story? Because I know a lot
I
of
mean,
people
I know
don't.
partially she's like when she went to like a pretty like abusive like school and stuff like that for like
Yeah.
assassins and whatever.
So
But
basically, when she was little, her parents sent her off to like an abusive ballet school. And she was like, that's where she grew up her whole life. So, and apparently, dude, like in the comics, it's really bad. Like they apparently like, because remember, obviously, like Marvel was trying to really be like PG, like they were like barely
yeah,
pushing PG-13, so they couldn't really say all that. But in the comics, bro, her storyline is absolutely absurd. Like
I can imagine.
it's so sad and like I don't know. I definitely think that it's between her and Wanda, but I think moving past the traumatic experiences and childhood experiences, I think we can go to something even more disappointing in this episode. The fact that we got no cameo. You can just take it
Oh
away here, bro.
man.
You can just take it away.
I was so excited, but at least now we know that maybe we did not meet the big reveal, the aerospace engineer. That's all we're looking forward to. Maybe it's Reed Richards, Blue Marvel, maybe it's the Scroll Girl from Captain Marvel. But luckily, at first we thought that we got it, but apparently we didn't because it is supposed to be a male, according to what Monica has said so far. So in this episode, we met a female military um, officer, and then we got like the tank vehicle, I guess. But so maybe the aerospace engineer, we will still get to them at some point in the show, which I'm still excited about. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's someone worthwhile.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I definitely think also that whole sequence was just like it was so up and down feelings for me because they did the whole spectrum thing in that one shot too. So it was like
Uh,
I was so hyped. Literally, I was like jumping out of my seat, and then 5 seconds later, she's like, "My contact's here," and I'm like, "Please don't be some random ass lady," and it was some random ass lady. But I think that the biggest part of the whole sequence is obviously just Monica becoming Spectrum. One of my favorite things about her character that I think a lot of other characters lack in the MCU, and this is why she's already one of my favorite heroes. I'm gonna be honest, she's already one of my favorite heroes in the MCU, and we've literally haven't even seen her use her powers. I think she has the most real hero motive out of almost any hero in the MCU. By hero motive, I mean she doesn't even care that her cells are mutated. She's going back into Westview to get Wanda and save Wanda before obviously Sword tries to take her down. So, what did you think of the whole sequence of Spectrum? And do you like the way her character has been starting off? Because I know we haven't seen much of her yet, but I know that there's still a lot of building blocks that are gonna have to go on top of her character.
no, yeah, no, I really love the way that they did it so far. How they really have like Monica was the perfect person to pick for this role because the death of her mother is kind of tied into Wanda's emotions and stuff like that. So it was really cool to see like how the writers have like really created like a big parallel between them. And I just love how yeah, you're right. Like Monica, she doesn't even care about her powers. Like she like just literally like wants to just help Wanda at the end of the day, and like she'll do whatever it takes to get it done. So I feel like it's definitely the most like kind of relatable because I feel like at some point in most people's lives, like we all deal with like loss or something like whether it's like a death in the family, something like that, etc. And it's just like kind of trying to cope with that. You have Monica on her, and she's kind of trying to deal with it in a positive way, and then Wanda is dealing with it like in a negative way. So it's really just cool to see kind of the same thing as two sides of the same coin. So it's really just dope to see. I love how they did that so far.
Yeah, dude, and I think going back to the part of her becoming the hero, like the way we liked her becoming the hero, we got to talk about here in Captain Marvel, bro. That's the fifth time she's been mentioned, heard, seen, whatever in the show. Fifth time, bro. If we do not see Captain Marvel in WandaVision, I will lose it. I promise you guys, if
So
Captain Marvel is not in this show, I will lose the marbles, bro. It is
I'm just
actually
gonna be in
crazy.
it.
Dude, I need to see. Bro, Sword has to call in Captain Marvel. Why wouldn't they? Captain Marvel is, think about it. Captain Marvel, this isn't even like a legit theory or anything. I'm just using logistics, okay? Captain Marvel is the only person that Sword knows that's powerful enough to take down Wanda. Obviously, yes, they know Strange, but my theory is Strange is the bunny. He's already trapped inside of Westview. Obviously, we're going to go over that later in this video, but dude, it has to be Captain Marvel. They have to call Captain Marvel. Even if it's a 5 second fight and Wanda blasts her out of this earth. I just want to see them fight, bro. Do you want to see that? Because I feel like you can't not want to see
I
that.
mean, like it would be cool, but I just can't see it happening honestly. Because I mean, like I feel like so something I really like how they are dealing with Captain Marvel because obviously like Captain Marvel has did something, whether like because Monica feels some sense like resentment towards her or whatever. So I really love for like to see like that kind of all get kind of resolved in Captain Marvel too. Maybe like we just don't see her now, but we kind of like hear things about her and maybe see people's opinions on her right now because whatever she did, it could be something kind of major, and maybe that gets brought up later in Captain Marvel 2, and we see them kind of butt heads and then become like friends or whatever. But so I wouldn't mind not seeing her now, but yeah, it would be cool to see her fight Wanda at the same time.
Yeah, I think just, dude, I just think a fight, like, I don't even need them to interact, bro. Because I don't think Monica wants to interact with Captain Marvel right now. Because obviously, like you said, there's some sort of beef going on. But I think the biggest thing we need to cover after this whole like Captain Marvel thing is just cameos in general. So I think I want to start off with obviously the most basic one that we're all thinking of, Doctor Strange. Do you know the bunny theory, Brantley?
Yeah, about him being Agatha's bunny, Senior Scratchy.
Yeah. So do you think, and I'm asking your opinion, don't go off of theories. Do you think that
Mm.
he purposefully is in Westview as the buddy and hiding there? Or, which, and this is my opinion, do you think he tried to get in there, get the book that was inside of Agnes's basement thing, which he was looking for, what she asked for in Doctor Strange 1, and he tried to leave, but he couldn't because obviously Agnes captured him. Or there's another option. He just came in to watch Wanda, obviously, like our basic theory of him watching Wanda. And then obviously maybe Agnes caught him and she's like, oh, you're interfering with whatever she's trying to complete with Mephisto, Ralph, Nightmare, whatever, whoever it may be. She's like, oh, you're interfering. Let me take you out really quick, son. Like, what do you think is going on?
I don't know because I feel like a part of me like apparently Agnes like Agatha is pretty powerful, but like her taking out Strange like that'd be pretty crazy. But I think at the same time maybe it could be a situation where something was going on with Wanda and maybe Agnes like took out Strange prior to him even knowing because she knew that he would get involved if it got too far. Maybe and she maybe turned him into a bunny or something like that and brought him into the reality. Maybe it was I don't know, but I think that could be a possibility. Also, maybe she did something prior because obviously, like common sense, if you like were like a source for something, you probably know that Strange would get involved if you see like someone doing stuff like with magic. So I don't really know. I mean, I do think there is a possibility he is the bunny. I think that's really likely, and I do think we will see him at some point in the show, obviously, because it will tie in Multiverse of Madness. But I just really don't know how exactly they're gonna incorporate Strange just yet, because I feel like he has to know like by now that something's going down. Like this much stuff on like a mystical cosmic level, like Strange has to know. So I feel like he like should be there in some capacity.
I definitely think that I think he's the bunny, bro. I think he's like unwillingly the bunny. I think that, bro, Agnes seems like she's really powerful. The only reason I'm saying that is because she literally put Wanda under mind control in this episode. Like, if we're speaking from a technical standpoint, she showed I think she showed Wanda all of the stuff that she was doing behind the scenes. I think that's what that whole flashback was, but I'm not 100% sure. But if that's the case, that means Agnes is powerful enough to kind of take over Wanda's mind. I think that's a pretty big deal, especially going off of the fact that Wanda is the most powerful being in the MCU.
I mean, I do think that to an extent, but I feel like it's probably not hard to take over someone's mind when they're like a very like delicate state, like with Wanda being like kind of not even like fully mentally there. I don't think like taking over her mind would like take like that much, I guess, power with the state that she's currently in.
That's true, yeah. I guess, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't see Agnes. I think Agnes would be like that perfect balance of power because she has to have enough power to get in, and because she purposefully went in the hex too. So she had to have had some sort of motive to get in and to do something. So I think that's another really, really big thing that we gotta keep our eye on. And to kind of end off this WandaVision episode 7 segment, let's talk about Bradley. You already mentioned a little bit of this before, but what do you want from the show from now on? Not what do you think is going to happen, but what do you want from now on? And actually, let's not
I
even
guess
say from now. Just next episode. Let's not even say the finale.
next, I guess I just want more kind of. I'm really interested in what's gonna happen with Vision. Obviously, I would want him probably to show back up. Maybe he tries to. Maybe him and Wanda have like one final like kind of team up against Agatha, maybe, and something happens to Vision. Um, I think that would be pretty cool to see them like fight side by side. Since we haven't really, because in game, Vision was kind of like getting like, his butt kicked. Like they weren't really like side by side, I guess, in that fight.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool to see them like fight together, like kind of maybe one last time as like a couple. So I think that would be pretty cool. And then also I want to see what happens with Pietro. Maybe Agatha loses her mind control somehow, and we see Pietro like in his X-Men form, like not really knowing what's going on anymore. Like he's really confused. That would be pretty funny. But yeah, that's kind of the main thing I want to see is something really cool with Vision's character.
Yeah, I think the character arc with Vision is probably going to be the most important one. Even like honestly, more important than Wanda's in the next episode because we got little to no Vision this episode. And yes, I was fine with it, but next episode has to like slightly make up for that. And I wouldn't mind if because now Vision like knows what's technically going on because Darcy explained a lot of it to him. But obviously, he's still gonna have questions. And remember, Wanda is at the end of this episode, Wanda is still in the basement in Agnes's house. So it's not like she's escaped. It's not like she's gotten out
Mm.
because what we don't even know what her potential is, I guess, whenever she leaves Agnes's basement. What is she going to do? What does she want to change in her universe now that she knows that people can forcefully enter? Monica forced her way in. Agnes basically forced herself into her reality. I think that's one of the biggest things that we're gonna have to watch when we're going forward in this show is that now we've seen two different people force their ways inside of the bubble, and we've seen one force their way out. Vision, we've seen him force the way out. So I just think that we have to keep an eye on all of these smaller details, especially when it comes to the not just necessarily like all the characters, but honestly just maybe two characters. I would say even more than Captain, I mean, even more than just Wanda, I would say Vision and Agnes are the next two are the two people I want their story arcs to excel the most in the next episode. Do you have any other things you want to talk about in about WandaVision before we move on?
I think that's it, man. Like I'm just ready, man. The fact that we're already like towards the end of the show, I feel like we just started watching the show, and in fact, we're literally 2 weeks out from it being over. It's just insane. This is honestly just like been probably one of my favorite MCU like pieces of content like in a fairly like long time. This is really good. Like every week is just it's been really awesome to watch. So if other MCU shows are like this, like giving this kind of feeling, then like it's gonna be a pretty fun ride for the rest of this year.
Especially being able to see Falcon and the Winter Soldier, bro. What 40 to 50 minutes of content a week. That's a lot of damage, bro. That's a lot of but yeah. So now we're going to move on to something we usually do not talk about on Third Thoughts, which is the DCEU. I talked about it in the last episode, but Brantley couldn't make it that episode. I just talked about my initial trailer reactions, my initial thoughts, because I didn't really go too deep into it in the trailer reaction itself. So before we get in too deep into Flashpoint Paradox and Supergirl, Brantley, I wanted to know your thoughts, reactions, whether it's Joker, Joker, Deathstroke, Superman in the black suit. What are all of your thoughts on the new Justice League trailer?
It's pretty cool. Like it's really the fact that we're actually here. The Snyder Cut is real. Definitely my favorite part of the trailer is probably the Joker scene at the end. Even though the "we live in a society" thing, it's kind of like a meme. I thought it was still pretty cool to see Leto's Joker. I really do want to give him a fair chance. I feel like he really got a lot of unnecessary hate after only like 5 minutes of screen time in Suicide Squad or whatever. So I really do want to see more of him and see what he can really do with the character of Joker. And really, that's the thing I'm most excited for is that whole nightmare sequence, however long it is. I just feel like that idea is really cool. Where it's like this future where the Justice League lost and like it's Darkseid's like kind of the ruler, and it's like basically like this post-apocalyptic world with Batman. Like that sounds like a cool story to me. So I really
Yeah,
want to see
definitely.
what they're going to do with that concept. And overall, I'm just excited to see it. I mean, hopefully, it is an improvement over the first film. It's something that Zach fought for, cast members have fought for, the fans really wanted. So hopefully, it turns out to be pretty good.
Do you think that this is one big problem that I might have with the movie, and this is probably what's going to happen? Do you think that the Joker and Deathstroke are only going to be in the nightmare sequence? That is one thing I'm worried about because I want to see them in the real world. Like I want to see, and obviously, maybe if he isn't maybe if Joker is in the real world, he's going to be gangster Joker because the whole point of Nightmare is that it's the complete opposite of what Joker is because society is basically flipped around. The bad guys are quote good guys now. So I feel like if we only see Joker and Nightmare, I'm gonna be very disappointed. What about you?
I think apparently that's it. I think like
Yeah,
for
that's
Joker, I think
yeah.
that's what Snyder said. He's wanted him like a Batman to interact before he was done with the DCU. So I mean, I wouldn't mind that. I mean, this movie already seems like it's gonna be packed with content. Maybe I think we might see Deathstroke outside of the Nightmare sequence because I mean he was lined up to be the next like Justice League like villain for because he was in the post credit scene for the original movie, the Whedon cut. So maybe they do have more additional footage of Deathstroke just like in like a fight scene or something maybe. I really do want to see Deathstroke on the big screen. I think he's a really cool character, but I don't know how he would work really as like a Justice villain because he's not like some like super like powerful like person. I guess I wonder how he would work. But it would be cool to see like kind of take them down like in a unique way if they ever went that route for, like a sequel. But hopefully we see more Deathstroke outside of the Nightmare sequence. And yeah, I guess that's really all I have to say about Deathstroke, but I'm excited. So
I definitely think that it's gonna be something insane, bro. Like I just have a feeling like and it's on spring break too. It comes out spring break week.
yeah.
Oh, I cannot wait. Dude, guys, I am waking up at 3 a.m. for it. I didn't know it was over spring break, but it is over spring break, so I will be waking up early, dropping a review for you guys, blah, blah, blah. I'll be doing a spoiler for your review. But without wasting any more time, let's get to what I've been waiting for all day. I was planning on making an entire video for it, and then I realized how many WandaVision videos I'm dropping. So I just decided it would be best if I just incorporated into this video. Now we're going to talk about the recently newly casted Supergirl. So this video is going to be coming out on Sunday. So this news will have dropped about 2 days ago on Friday. Brentley has not heard much about this. So Brentley, pay attention. I'm going to give you some information, some of my thoughts, and then I'll ask you some questions given the information. Okay. So the Flash movie, Flash Paradox, whatever they're going to call it, is going to have a new Supergirl casted as Sasha Kali. I think that's her name. It is weird to me because of how random it is. This movie is already going to be jam-packed to the brim because we're already getting Michael Keaton's Batman, as well as the Flash going through multiple dimensions since the DCEU is implementing the Flash Paradox storyline in the movie from the comics. Since Flashpoint is dealing with different dimensions, this could be the reason as to why they casted a Latina girl instead of the classic blonde hair white girl that she is in the comics. The suit that the director held up in the Zoom meeting that he posted on Instagram looked exactly like Henry Cavill's suit, and this is probably one of the biggest scares that I have. Now, this might sound weird. It's like, all right, why are you scared about a suit? Okay, I'm scared because the potential of Henry Cavill's Superman being replaced is very, very high, and that's one thing I cannot risk. We all know that Ben Affleck's Batman is going to be in Flashpoint, and in that movie, he's going to get replaced by Michael Keaton. So this also increases the chances that Cavill might get replaced. Another two things that they could do to her character is, first of all, they could replace the role that Cyborg was supposed to play in Flashpoint, because he was supposed to play a very prominent role until his disagreements and beef with Warner Brothers behind the scenes that we saw uncover a few months ago. Or, and this is probably my favorite theory as to what Supergirl could do in Flashpoint, but also this is probably the most unrealistic, which is filling in the role of Wonder Woman, the role that Wonder Woman has in the comics of Flashpoint Paradox. Now, apparently, I see your face. You're very confused. In the comics, Flashpoint Paradox, in a certain dimension, if we're saying that she's from a different dimension, she is super evil. And she kills Billy Batson. If you didn't know, that's the kid version of Shazam, and tries to stop the Flash from completing whatever journey he is on. So my theory is that maybe Supergirl is evil in one dimension, and then Flash turns her good, and then whenever she replaces him. Now, one thing that I forgot to write down here, I think, and that I'm just remembering now, is that in Man of Steel, if they don't do the whole alternate dimension, different reality thing that Flash is going to and gets her and brings him back because whatever Superman is dead after Justice League, we don't know. But what if Supergirl is in Man? Okay, let me give you a little context, because I know you probably don't remember Man of Steel. In Man of Steel, when Superman saw the pods of the people, all of them were empty except for one. They never gave us an explanation. And if it turns out that if her suit is the same as the one that the casting director showed, that could show the reason as to why she's related, or she is the cousin of Superman, because she was the girl in the pod. So I feel like that's another way they could introduce her. Now, I gave you guys and Brentley a little backstory on the casting and the possibilities this casting could have. What do you think of this whole situation? And do you think the DC, I know this is a very loaded question, but what do you think of the situation overall? And do you think the DCU is going in the right direction if they're going to change out Henry Cavill for Supergirl? Because personally, I don't think it's a good idea.
Well, I'd say first, like, and also if you said, I'd say the most like likely, in my opinion, is like the first thing you said about her being from another dimension, or the last thing you said about her is being the last person in the pod. I feel like that's probably the two most likely things, in my opinion, for like Flashpoint. But I don't know, because honestly, I'm not that familiar like with Supergirl. At first, I know she has a show and all that stuff like that, but hers like a character, like I guess like I don't really know like makes her like so different from like Hal Jordan or any other like Superman in any way. Like it's they like would give like such a big role of like replacing Superman. I mean, I think it would be interesting to see, but
Well,
I feel like it's
she
hard to
was
have
gonna have
DC
a
without Superman. Like,
solo movie. They remember. I don't know if you knew this, but last year there was a lot of speculation, and people were like, it was literally basically almost confirmed because there were a lot of leaks from DC, from the DCEU and Warner Brothers, that they were planning on making a solo movie for Supergirl. So people are saying, and in the leaks and stuff came out right about the same time that Henry Cavill was showing hints that he didn't want to be in the DCU anymore. So maybe they've been planning it from the beginning. I don't know though.
maybe. I mean, I just first, feel like it's hard to have DC. Like, Superman's like literally arguably the most popular superhero of all time. Like,
Bro,
when it was
Superman's
like,
gone though. Superman's actually gone. Let's be honest here. Superman is gone. At least Henry Cavill Superman is gone.
yeah, at least Henry Cavill, but it's like, man, that'd be so different, especially with the DC being like, I thought Flashpoint was supposed to kind of like reboot in a way. I just
It
feel like it'd be
is.
kind of
It
like,
is.
yeah, but I just feel like we still need Superman, man. Like, come on, like I feel like it's hard. I mean, with them killing him off so early and stuff like that, and they just made they made so many mistakes that like I just really wish they could just start over. Like, just please, like erase none of this stuff matters. Like, I just really want them like just to
Bro,
start over.
but the thing is they can't because they already found such good casting. Like they literally cannot go
Yeah,
back.
it
And their
just sucks.
characters have already become a staple. And I think one big part of that is literally just social media in general. Like if we think about it, like Marvel, the MCU, they recasted Hulk because his Hulk character wasn't like anything crazy big. We could honestly say the same thing about Shazam. Like if you think about it, if Shazam happened at the same time as the Incredible Hulk movie and the movie didn't do good, even Aquaman, let's even put Aquaman there. If Aquaman didn't do good at the same time that Incredible Hulk did, and no, obviously the movie did good, but the actor, say the actor was just a pain, right? Do you think they would have recasted Jason Momoa back in the day?
I mean, yeah, probably. I mean, I think anytime like those like early stages, like the studio is probably like a bit more like loose because like audiences like they probably don't care as much or
Exactly.
aren't attached to the character.
Exactly. But you think about it, the DCEU is so like they're like it's still at a premature state. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
In terms of amount of movies released, it's so premature. But in terms of their fan base, they made the mistake, or Warner Brothers or DC, whatever, they made the mistake of creating a trillion shows, creating a trillion animated series. All of that stuff just made their universe or their whole like all their characters so popular that when they started a cinematic universe, they cannot go back. Marvel didn't have much before Iron Man from a logistical standpoint that actually correlated, and that risk that they took on the big screen of kind of that first real life superhero that was like high tech, crazy, like CGI, all that kind of stuff. Like I I don't know, bro. Like this literally leads into my next question. Do you think DC's gonna hit the hard reset button on their universe?
I think that they should, but I don't know if they will. It's hard because their positions like right now they are like really they have stuff that's like really valuable and they have stuff like people like just don't really care about. Like for example, like Wonder Woman, like if I like that's like the money maker. Like I feel like it would be stupid for them to reboot that with like a different actress that's not Gal Gadot, a different cast. Because people love that stuff. I mean, for the most part, even though some people didn't like 84, but still like the first film, second film, like a lot of people love that character and love what they did so far with her two movies. So I feel like for DC's perspective, it would be dumb for them to like scrap all of that. But then you have stuff like Batman and Superman that's like, I
Yeah.
mean, it kind of needs a little reboot, but I don't think they're gonna do it. I want them to do it, but I think they're probably push on, and this is might become kind of a. I mean, honestly, right now I think DC's gonna end up being kind of like a mess in terms of like understanding it, maybe because they're technically they've rebooted Suicide Squad, and I don't know what's happening, but I think we will get
Wait,
some
did
good
they
movies
reboot
out of it.
Suicide Squad?
I mean, I think technically it's like considered a reboot, but I don't know. I don't understand.
Oh God. Okay. Well, I think the final question of this episode is probably the biggest one. I think it's the biggest one for me, and this is the one like I spent the most time coming up with this question. And I think we talked about this a little bit before, but if the Snyder cut is a massive success, not Zack Snyder, but do you think Superman, Henry Cavill Superman, will get a second chance on the big screen? Because I know I wasn't the biggest fan of Man of Steel, but that's all I want. You can cancel everything else in the DCEU. Not my Batman movies, not my Pattinson Batman movies, but everything in the DCEU. You can drop it all. You can recast Gal Gadot. You can recast Jason Momoa. I don't care. Get rid of all of them. Give me a Man of Steel too. What do you just want? I don't. Even if you didn't like the first, I know you did not like the first movie, Brantley, but you have to admit, bro, they did Henry Cavill so dirty, bro. They were like, okay, we're gonna make you the center of this universe, Zack Snyder. We're gonna let you get started on this universe. We're gonna put you on like 20 films, even though you should only be directing like 2. We're gonna put you on every film. You're gonna be front and center of this universe, kind of like a John Favreau, Kevin Feige type of thing, right? Where it's like, okay, you direct this movie, we'll pay for it, and as time goes on, you can get higher in the ranks, I guess. They made one movie and tossed Superman aside. Even in Batman versus Superman, that could have been literally a second Superman movie. Let's be honest. It could have been a second Superman movie. But they were just too eager to introduce Batman and then Wonder Woman in the same exact movie. Do you think that Superman deserves a second chance?
I'm down for a Man of Steel 2, but with like not Zack Snyder. Like if this is a different director, I'm
No Zack Snyder, but Henry Cavill Superman.
I'm down for that, honestly, and I hope that they do that if it's with a different director. But I mean, of course, with Henry being kind of those like rumors are and be like uncertain if he wants to like still play the role or not. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like honestly, it's just so many issues with DC at the moment because like on an executive level and just every level. I don't understand.
I think everything from the DCU has branched off of the executive level. I think just first of all, how they handle their talent, it's so bad. Like they're so like literally three of what their 6 main characters. Let's say Superman, Batman, and Cyborg all have an issue with Warner Brothers. Gal Gadot is just a moneymaker. Jason Momoa is a moneymaker. And I don't know about the Flash dude. I don't really care about him that much. But dude, like they're just like, I don't know. One movie that I'm super excited for in the DCU is definitely Aquaman 2. That's probably my most hyped movie, to be honest, for the DCU. Just because of Black Manta. Personally, I like the actor that plays Black Manta. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's like Yaha Abdul Mateen. I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah. Personally, I'm a big fan of him, so I'm super excited to see Black Manta finally get more time on the big screen because I wasn't the biggest fan of Aquaman 1, but I liked Black Manta. I liked the way they prepped the story. I liked how they gave him a revenge story. I think the DCU is going in a decent direction other than their acting problems.
Don't forget, dude, like problems. Let's think, dude. We're about to get The Rock, bro. Like in a year or two in the DCU, like
dude, we're about to get The Rock, bro. Dude,
it's like so good, but so bad. Dude, like, what are they doing?
Let's be honest. Let's do it. Let's put it this way. I think in 2022 and after, DC is releasing 4 movies a year, bro. Like Shazam 2, Black Adam. And then there's another one that's like both of them combined. Like Black Adam and Shazam are supposed to fight in like some like God movie, I think, right? Aquaman 2. So. Probably an Aquaman. Let's just assume there's going to be an Aquaman 3. They're probably going to make a trilogy out of it. Let's be honest.
Right? Yeah, and Wonder Woman probably.
And then Wonder Woman 3. Are they introducing any new ones? Any new people?
I don't even know. Dude.
Oh,
because they announced so much stuff.
Yeah, bro. They announced
remember, they have like that Gotham City Sirens stuff. They have like a million things that probably wouldn't get
Gotham
made,
City Sirens is a video game.
Or whatever, like the thing with like Harley and Poison Ivy and like Catwoman or whatever. That's just like a show or something. Oh. Then we're talking about like with like the Megan Fox or movie or something like that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
but they've announced so much stuff, and it's just like
they've I think they have a lot on their plate. I don't think it's the best look for DC right now, man. Like
I was like, what dictates their future? Like I think what's gonna like really dictate like what they do is like what's successful. Like, I feel like that's what they're gonna put more in time in. Is like is with whatever they make, they're probably gonna throw a bunch of ideas at the wall, make a bunch of stuff, and like whatever sticks, they're just gonna ride that out and just probably make sense of it all. So like if Pattinson's movie does really well, they might like do some crap where he's like the main Batman somehow or something like that. I think they'll try to probably just mesh together whatever people really, really like and just somehow make it work. which honestly, I guess that's the best thing they can do if they don't want to reboot at this point.
I mean, that's all we have for this episode. Third thoughts. I know it was a little bit messy talking about WandaVision and the DCEU, but the finale, guys, the finale episode of WandaVision, we are only going to be talking about WandaVision that episode. We're going to be talking about, I already have a bunch of stuff planned out. We're going to be talking about WandaVision, the future of WandaVision, or the future of the multiverse, future of realities. We're going to speculate stuff about Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. T-minus 2 weeks until the finale of WandaVision. I'm so hyped, and I hope you guys are too. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like rating down below. All of Brentley's social medias will be in the links in the description down below, so make sure you go check them out. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Peace.